Panhandle residents spent this past weekend reflecting on the 20-year anniversary of the September 11th attacks. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, on the eve of the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, fourth grade students at Scottsbluff's Westmore Elementary School learned about that day and participated in a recognition activity on Friday morning. Teacher Julie Lemon told KNEB News she feels it's always important to take some time every year to talk to the kids about it, especially now because they never lived through it but are living through the after effects.
So we talked about what it is. We watched a little CNN Student News about it, and then the kids made a memorial quilt. Every kid got to design a square, and they were told to just represent 9/11 any way they wanted to. Some did American flags, some did army tanks, some did firefighter trucks. It was just a way for them to represent it the way they wanted to.
Lemon says some kids came in with a lot of knowledge about 9/11, and some kids had never heard of it. She says as soon as they started talking about it, the kids were truly engrossed and had lots of questions and had some stories to tell from things they had heard from other people. Well, the Scottsbluff County Veterans Service Office hosted a Patriot Day Remembrance on Saturday at the VFW Hall in Gering. Members from the program shared their thoughts and reflections of the attacks that occurred on our soil 20 years ago. Steve Jordan, an Army veteran who served in Operation Desert Storm and Operation Iraqi Freedom, says he was just a few miles away from the Pentagon when one of the hijacked planes crashed into it.
I was in Washington, D.C. on 9/11 at work, trying to understand what was going on at the Twin Towers up in New York when the Pentagon was attacked about 2 miles from where I was at. So I heard the explosion. I saw the flames, the black fumes in the air. And I was driving home a couple hours later on 995, which is normally a packed parking lot that time of day. It in D.C. was nothing but a ghost town.
Many of the speakers remarked that our nation was the most united on September 12, 2001, and remarked that our country needs to stand united as one once again. And in the eastern part of the state, Rural Radio Farm Director Susan Littlefield caught up with former Governor Dave Heinemann, who recounted that fateful day and how President Bush stopped at Offutt Air Force Base before returning to the nation's capital to address the nation.
For him to be here and go through a fire escape into a basement to do his work just shows the important role that Nebraska played on September 11th.
And interesting about that day, first of all, I think was Nebraska media first reported it, and they were surprised as anyone. Secondly, President Bush, as I've read recent articles, said, I didn't even know this underground facility existed at Offutt Air Force Base and the capability it had so that he could interact with his cabinet and his National Security Council. They made a lot of decisions. Then ultimately, a couple hours later, he headed back to Washington, D.C. to address the nation.
And that full interview with Governor Heinemann can be found on the KNEB.TV YouTube channel. Well, coming up to the break, Bill Boyer in with your full week weather forecast. We'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Partly cloudy skies to start off this evening. We'll turn cloudy overnight, and I think we'll see an off and on shower or two. Not going to see a ton of them, but can't rule out a shower or storm around tonight through early tomorrow, and then things are going to clear off. Now, tomorrow is going to be cooler than where we were today and where we've certainly been the last several days, but we're heading back there starting Wednesday. We're going to warm right back up. 85 yesterday for a high after a morning low of 56. At 85, still above normal for this time of year. Not above normal is our precip. We're already half of what we should have for the month of September and closing in now on 3 inches short for the year. I say not as warm as where we have been. We've had some days here to start September, a few warmer, a couple cooler, bounced around a little bit. Then starting really last week, other than Tuesday, the 7th, where we were right about normal, we've had above normal temperatures every single day. This 100 here on the 10th, that set a record. And on Saturday, the 11th, that 98 also set a record high in Scottsbluff. Now, we're not going to be back to record-setting high temps, but we're certainly going to be closer to those numbers and where we're going to be tomorrow for the rest of the week. 83 right now in Scottsbluff, 86 in Sterling. Look at that, 60 up in Watertown. That is the cooler air. It's going to make its way down in here tomorrow, I think, and we're going to have a cooler day with these 70s prevalent in our region as opposed to some of the low 80s that are out here right now. Winds have been a little stout at times, 10 to 15 miles an hour, making it feel a little cooler. You can see where this frontal system is, and that's where the severe weather threat is the highest in portions of the Northeast and up through portions of southeastern South Dakota. Here in our area, we're dealing with a marginal risk of severe storms really all across the Cornhusker State back into southeastern portions of Wyoming. We push that further to the south tomorrow and then completely away from the area on Wednesday. Let's take a look at our bus stop forecast. A little soggy when you get on the bus tomorrow, a few showers around, about 54. On the way home, we're going to call it 73 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Really a pretty nice day tomorrow once we get some of those morning showers out of here. Showers are going to be better concentrated early tonight in the southern panhandle. Tomorrow overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, we bring the better chances of rain maybe in the northern portions of the region. Lows are going to fall in the upper 40s and low 50s here across the region. Again, tomorrow we watch some of those showers early. They push out of here, and by lunchtime, we're dealing with clearing skies and really all in all a pretty nice rest of the day tomorrow. And we're going to see temperatures tomorrow only get into the 70s, very comfortable out here. How about 76 in Scottsbluff, 75 in Kimball and in Sidney, 77 in Valentine. So pretty comfortable temperatures, and precip going to be limited, a few hundredths, maybe up to a quarter of an inch if you get under some of the heavier showers. Most of us not going to get much to measure here over the next couple of days. 53 our low tonight with a few clouds. A shower or storm can't be ruled out. Same thing tomorrow, 77 for your expected high. And then as we take a look at our 7-day forecast, boy, things look much warmer as we start Wednesday and into Thursday. We jump out of those 70s right back into the low 90s. A little cooler on Friday behind a system, maybe in the mid 80s. Back into the 90s for Saturday and Sunday. Another hot weekend coming our way. And really after tomorrow, very little, if any, chance of moisture.
My name is Angela and I'm with Langer Industrial Services. There's a huge technology part in metal, just with all the programs we use, running the scale and paying people, all the software. He does 24/7 ransomware monitoring, making sure the programs run smoothly, making sure everything's running properly. So it's nice to have Jeremy there to call when things go wrong. He's always there right away. He's, within 30 minutes he shows up.
ERH Technology Solutions, we make technology work for you.
A community is connections, friends, family, schools, teams. At Allo, we're honored to be a part of your community. As members of the community, we're committed to ensuring people stay connected to the services they need. That's why we're participating in the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're providing low and no cost broadband to qualifying community members. Go to allofiber.com/EBB to learn more.
Welcome back. State lawmakers convened today for a once-in-a-decade special session to tackle redistricting. Following the release of the latest U.S. Census data, state senators must meet to redraw maps for state legislative districts and congressional districts. Gering Senator John Stinner shares his thoughts heading into this pivotal session.
I'm hoping the 3 senators stay in place in the Panhandle so that we have that type of representation. What the configuration of the districts will look like, that's the big question. Obviously, District 48 has to pick up a couple counties. Right now it's north and south is what the proposal is. We'll see how that shakes out in the final. How that affects 47th District and Senator Brewer's district, that'll shove those things, those districts to the east unless they're able to get to a population center that offsets it. So lots of discussions, lots of work to do yet. Who gets eliminated in the process, I think, is the big question.
A total of 12 days has been set aside for this special redistricting session, with the final day set for September 30th. Well, the City of Mitchell will be undergoing a change in leadership among the City Council. A special meeting has been called for tomorrow, in which the Council will be accepting the resignation of Mayor Dave Curtis and declaring a vacancy on the panel. Curtis received heavy criticism during last week's meeting for the manner in which ideas for downtown revitalization were being developed, specifically over one of several potential ideas in which Center Avenue would be limited to pedestrians and bicyclists. Also on the agenda is the naming of a new council president, as Angie Preston is stepping down from that post, but will remain on the council. The new council president would also take over the role of mayor until the next election for office in 2022. And the race to finish budgetary work in the Panhandle continues this week, with cities, counties, and a variety of governmental bodies finalizing their property tax requests for the coming year. Both Scottsbluff and Gering school boards hold meetings with the topic on the agenda tonight, as does the Gering City Council. Also on the Gering City Council agenda, a resolution authorizing city officials to apply for federal assistance from the Land and Water Conservation Fund for pickleball courts. They will also talk about the renewal of the lease agreement between the city and Stephanie and Brody Rask as B&S Rask Grill LLC for continued operation of the Monument Grill at the Monument Shadows Golf Course. Well, coming up to the break, Chris Cottrell in with the recap of the weekend that was in local sports. We'll have that in just 90 seconds.
The 5055E from John Deere features the value of choice with a cab or open station, two-wheel drive or mechanical front-wheel drive, and transmission options. In addition to easy-to-use controls and loader compatibility. All of this is backed with a 5-year powertrain warranty. The only thing easier than owning a 5E is operating one. See your John Deere dealer for details.
Visit 21st Century Equipment with locations in Scottsbluff, Torrington, Bridgeport, and Alliance. Developing solutions, delivering success.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
In boots, new and old, you've walked the rows of life, a fence length of time. You fought the floods, snow, and sweltering heat, and lifted breathing and settled pain. With a smile and a cry, you've strengthened your community and future generations. Sometimes with nothing to say. Often can't say enough. Like, let me do it again.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
It's a football highlights type of Monday here On the update for today, we were at Bearcat Stadium where the marquee game of the high school football week from the region took place last Friday night. Scottsbluff hosted Class B number 6, the Aurora Huskies. Aurora, the definition coming in of an outstanding team that hadn't won a game yet. Scottsbluff was looking to see how much they'd improve since being bounced 54-3 from the playoffs by the Huskies last year. After some defensive stops for both these teams to start the game, the scoring got started over halfway through the opening stanzas. The Huskies get on the board first with a touchdown pass from Drew Canoose to Wade Olson, that one covering 17 yards. Aurora would extend on that lead in the closing moments of the opening quarter when their load of a running back, this guy was big, Carlos Collazo, got loose on a 16-yard run that made it 14-0. Would the Cats have a response? Yes, they would. On 4th down and goal, it was Josiah Mobley barreling in from the 1, and then the same thing on the 2-point play as the Cats cut the lead to 14-8 at that point. After a botched onside attempt, the Huskies answered quickly just 37 seconds later, and again, Collazo scoring his second rushing touchdown of the night. They went for 2, and with the conversion, it was Aurora leading 22-8. A real dagger blow from Aurora with under a minute to play in the half when Canoose took to the air and hit Carson Stair for a 43-yard touchdown, and the Huskies led 29-8 at the halftime break. Let's move things to the third quarter now. And really, Scottsbluff was in control for most of this quarter with some really good ball control on offense. They took off nearly 9 minutes of the clock on their opening drive of the quarter and scored when Braden Stoll ran around the edge of the defense. Tack on another 2-point conversion attempt, and it was the Cats hanging around down 29-16. Now, late third quarter, and Aurora, they've got more in the tank. It's Canoose to Preston Raymakers this time. This one covered 30 yards to push the Aurora lead back to 20. Now, fourth quarter, the Cats strike again with Stoll, scampering in from 15 yards out. And with that score at that point, 36-22, and Scottsbluff would get no closer in this one. For Collazo, once more, for good measure. The 5-yard run, this guy finished with right near 150 yards rushing on the night. Aurora outgained Scottsbluff 459-276 total yardage on offense. Scottsbluff will welcome in a Sterling, Colorado team this week that's been outscored 155-0 in 3 losses so far this year. For Gering on Friday night, a barometer game that went all wrong. Hastings entered 0-3 while the Dogs were hoping for their second win of the season. It was all Hastings in this one as they got out to an insurmountable 20-0 lead at halftime and wound up with the shutout road win over at Gering 33-0. This outcome continued the almost unbelievable run against Class B teams for Gering. They've won just 1 game against a Class B opponent since October of 2013. The task this week doesn't look all that fun either, as they'll head up north to take on 3-0 Chadron, where the Cardinals have outscored their opponents so far 107-7. That was a look back at football from Friday night. Early week prep action tomorrow, TV and radio. Scottsbluff hosting North Platte. That'll be doubleheader softball action. Note that radio broadcast will be on KMOR 93.3. Meanwhile, tomorrow night, it's the first matchup of the season between Scottsbluff and Gering in volleyball. The Bulldogs playing host for our TV radio contest tomorrow night. And now some Cougar volleyball. They split 2 matches at NJC over the weekend there in Sterling, falling to number 1. They bounced back nicely, though, to get a win over number 6, Utah State Eastern. They'll have their first home matches of the entire schedule so far this season coming up this weekend. 3 matches total Friday and Saturday at Cougar Palace. That will do it for today. The latest from right here at the FNBO Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell. Ryan has more right after this on KNEB.TV.
When you call Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating, you will have options. Repair it, rebuild it, or update it. Whether your furnace stops working or your bathtub won't drain, Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating provides the services you need to be comfortable. Weekends, holidays, or late nights, we will be there. With over 30 years of service, our certified technicians and cutting-edge technology can keep your systems running at their peak efficiency. Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating, every time we enter your home, we leave it a better place to live.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
What a year 2020 was. Now's the time to get out and travel this summer to see family and friends you were not able to see this last year. Spend more time enjoying your trip by flying United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with daily flights to and from Denver. Reserve your flight today and remember United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. And don't forget, Thrifty Car Rental is here for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and hitch a ride with your BFF, Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Renewal by Andersen, it's about our people. We're a family-owned local company with the best windows, patio doors, and installation teams anywhere. But before our customers ever get to installation, they speak with our advisors in the office. We're so proud of our people. They're very experienced, organized, and at Renewal by Andersen, we know that our customers' time is so valuable. We assure you signature service from the first phone call to the installation day. Renewal by Andersen, a local family company. It's about our people.
At Platte Valley Bank, we realize the way people want to bank in the future may be different than it has been. As comfort levels and desires vary by person, banking may be different for some, yet not for others. We offer the best of both worlds, a traditional banking experience with our friendly tellers and an online or mobile banking option with features that you can personalize and utilize anytime, anywhere you go. So you can bank how you want, when you want, and from where you want to. Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, the Western Nebraska Regional Airport Authority Board on Wednesday approved a 2021-22 operating budget. Airport Director Raul Aguayo told KNB News he was comfortable with the final document after a lot of preparation work went into looking ahead for the next year.
Yes, yeah, Cheryl spends a lot of time going over it, and then we sit down and fine tune it and think about, what the next year looks like as far as advertising, what electric's going to look like, all those things, and just try to make sure that, we have enough money to get all those things covered.
Board members also received an update on a number of projects underway at the airport, including the new airport fire station and the repaving of runway 523. Paving of that runway is expected to take place this week, with a required test strip for the runway asphalt, providing an opportunity to repave Airport Terminal Road, beginning at Highland Road. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.